Pretty big thunderstorm coming in. We're about to go see the new Jurassic Park. Don't know much about it. I can't remember the name of it. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it won't. We'll see. Heading off to the movie in a big thunderstorm. Daniel doesn't talk or be shown on film. So he's just filming out the window to see if you get any good shots of any lightning or anything coming up here. Okay, normally this is where I would give the review of the movie. But unfortunately, that was her cattail going through. Unfortunately, Jurassic World, Kingdom of the Fallen Crystal Skull, Scooby-Doo's Revenge, I don't know. It's a terrible movie. Horrible. It's really stupid. But it's horrible and stupid in a really good way. It is one of those movies that's so dumb that it's actually entertainingly dumb. Now, I could go on about the good things in the movie. The good things are the things you think are going to be good. There's dinosaurs fighting, they're cool looking, whatever. Get past that. Let's go, actually, in this review and just do the 10 dumb things in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Number one, I'm going to go for probably least to some of the most stupid things. So number one is probably the best scene in the whole movie is this opening scene where you have these guys trying to steal dinosaur DNA or something from the old tank from the last movie. They're going to take some skeleton bone, whatever, and they eventually find out that the big giant undersea dinosaur is still alive, and it escapes. It kills a bunch of people, escapes. That never pays off in the whole movie. You think like, wow, it's free this whole movie. It's going to come up here. People are going to have a sighting, something. Oh, at the very end, you get a little scene where it is going towards some surfers. Dumb. Number two. Sorry, I made a list so I could keep track of all these things. Number two is the death scene on the dock. So you remember that really inspiring scene in the original Jurassic Park where they first see the dinosaurs and they look up and there's that big, I don't know, is it Diplodocus or Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus or whatever it is. They look up and it's like soaring above them and it's like the light is shining through and the music soars and wow, we're seeing dinosaurs. It's so good. Remember how you loved that? Well, they try to do that again in this movie, but it's only to pay off at the end of that island sequence when they're all floating away in the boat with all the kidnapped dinosaurs or whatever it's supposed to be, and you see on the dock that same dinosaur. It's in the smoke, the lava's coming towards it. It's like, help me. It's supposed to be the emotional core of the scene of the movie where you're like, oh my god, one of these dinosaurs is going to die, and it's so corny. And the whole theme of this movie is like, should we save these dinosaurs from natural extinction again? And that plays into a really bad scene later in the movie. All right, number three, the blood transfusion. Okay, we have a couple new characters in this movie. We've got the techno geek guy, and they always have to have a techno geek guy in these movies to like hack into the park's mainframe or whatever. And then they have the paleo vet, who at some point I'm pretty sure says, I've never seen a dinosaur in real life before, so she finally gets to see one. So what does she do later in the movie? Blue is hurt, and they need a blood transfusion, and they're on the ship, and there's all these other dinosaurs there, and she just comes out of the blue and says, and says, go find another dinosaur with 2 or 3 toes. That should work. How does she know that? Anyway, so they do, and of course it's a T-Rex. Go figure. Anyway, her character is better than Techno Geek, but that was a pretty dumb moment. Number 4. Okay. Peter Quill. I'll call him Peter Quill because I can remember what his name is. Olsen? I don't remember what his name is. Anyway, Peter Quill is a dinosaur trainer, right? Handyman? I don't know what he is exactly. Anyway, there is no indication that he's got mercenary fighting skills, right? Well, at some point in this movie, they have a 300-esque fighting scene where there's all the guards in this mansion, and he fights through them. They all have guns and like stun guns and like shock batons, and he fights through them, and he's like clotheslining them. He's like punching them. He's like just it's ridiculous. Peter Quill, ridiculous. All right. Number 5, the clone. A big reveal is there's this granddaughter of the guy who was also friends with the other old guy from the original Jurassic Park, played by the guy who was the dad in Babe, Cromwell. Anyway, this little girl, he keeps hiding this picture in his book, and eventually when he gets murdered, she looks at the picture in the book, and it's a picture of her. But is it her? Well, anyway, it's revealed that she's a clone of the daughter, because the daughter died, so they made a clone, and she's a clone. It doesn't matter in the movie, really, at all. And it's a really stupid plot point, and it's ridiculous that they've got this perfect human cloning technology along with the dinosaur technology, and they're just not out telling people about that. Dumb. It's so dumb. That's what I like about this, though. It's like the cheesiest B movie for a big budget movie. This is like really grade Z level B movie, and it was fun and stupid in a lot of ways. What do I have? Number 6. Okay, remember Techno Geek? I told you about him. He doesn't do a whole lot. At one point, he hacks into the system early on, and he only hacks into it because they have the handprint of Ron Howard's daughter. Anyway, there's this one point later in the movie where they've kind of escaped on the ship, but no one knows they're there. And then the guys come up and they kind of think he's one of the crew members. And the Techno Geek is like, okay. And they're like, pretend like you're a crew member. And he does. So he kind of wanders off. They go, and at first, he's a terrible character. He's just crying like a baby the whole time and like afraid of everything. Anyway, he supposedly sneaks off and pretends to be a crew member. And then we don't see him for like the next half of the movie. And at one point I told Daniel, we went and saw this, I said, I was like, wait, what happened to that guy? What happened to Techno Geek? And then later at the very end of the movie, he just pops up in like a lab coat in the lab, in the mansion, and he's been supposedly just pretending this whole time, and they've all been buying it, that he's just one of them. Like no one ever noticed that this is a strange, unknown guy just hanging out with them? Apparently not. All right. Number 7. Okay, aiming the laser. So at one point they bring out, there's this big dinosaur auction, which is idiotic, in a mansion. Idiotic. They bring out the new genetically altered Roboraptor. I think it's called Indoraptor, Raptor. I don't know. It's a big raptor, whatever. They bring it out and they point out how like they've trained it. So when you take this certain gun and you aim the laser at something and then you push a little button that makes a sound, that raptor will go right at that thing and it will not stop until it kills it. Sorry, change of scenery. Had to do a little stuff and I'm back. So anyway, at the end, you've got basically Peter Quill cornered on a roof of this greenhouse sort of a thing, and he's face to face with the Raptor, and and Howard's daughter has the gun, and so she points the laser at Peter Quill? It makes no sense. Points the laser at Peter Quill, and then shoots the beeper signal thing, and the Raptor jumps at him and then falls through the greenhouse roof. Like that was her plan? It seems like a pretty dangerous plan. Number 8, the big red button. This kind of leads to the final, well, one of the final little sequences is basically you've got all of the, there's some kind of a malfunction with all the destruction going on, and there's this gas leaking into the basement where all the caged up dinosaurs are at, and they are going to try to save the dinosaurs. And Techno Geek, and actually this is gonna lead to a couple things, a couple of the really dumb things. Techno Geek is unable to figure out how to save them. So at one point they show, so Howard, of course, somehow she knows the system still or something. I don't know what it is exactly, but she's able to unlock all the cells and let all the dinosaurs out. So now they're outside of their cells in the hallway, and there's one big entry door to this downstairs cell area. And lo and behold, there is just this magical giant red button that says, in case of emergency, press this button to open the outer gate. Why you would need that button, why that would exist, I have no idea. For a movie. Anyway, that's why it exists. And that leads to number 9. So this whole movie has been about her and everyone trying to save these dinosaurs. Well, now she's there. She's got the red button. All the dinosaurs are ready to go out the door. All she has to do is hit the red button and they'll be free and they'll get away from this deadly gas. And she looks at the button and goes, or I think actually Quill says something like, you better be sure about this. You can never take this back. Nothing will ever be the same again, or something like that. And then she doesn't do it. Why? And then while their back is turned, the clone girl does it instead, which is really stupid. And, and they look back at her like, what? And then she goes like, they're just like me. So stupid. And then the final dumb thing, number 10. And this is kind of the whole ending, that all the dinosaurs are now free, which I don't know what that's going to mean for the rest of the series. But basically you're going to have, I guess, like The Walking Dead with dinosaurs, where there's dinosaurs all over the world and people are encountering them. Anyway, they have to have the final shot. This is the dumb part, another dumb part. The final shot in I think in pretty much every Jurassic Park has been some shot of the T-Rex or something like growling, roaring while they've taken back over whatever area they've been encaged in. Well, this one has the final one, has the T-Rex breaking into a zoo and looking across the zoo moat at a lion, and the T-Rex roars and then the lion roars back. That's the level of stupidity in this movie. Oh, it's so good and so bad at the same time. It's terrible. So go see it at your own risk. If you want to see stupid, pretty epic stupid, you might enjoy it. Bye.